All right, well, here we go. Let's rock and roll, baby. Hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I am your host, John Harris, and today on the Rock Metal Podcast, we have Blue Hour Ghosts. We have a new album called Do, which was released on February 12th of 2021 via Rock Shots Records. And right now I'm being joined by Diego, Ricardo, and Simone to share some more information about this epic release. So, boys, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Great to have you guys on. Now, I'm curious mostly about this record called Do, which makes me think about so many things. Like the album itself is Do. So, what is this record about? Why is this record called Do? Is it because it's Do?
There are multiple meanings behind the title. So actually, you got one. So actually, some things in life are due. So we thought that after a time with no releases and with the lineup changes and stuff, some music was due to people and those who were waiting for something new. And behind this, and beside this, we also have another meaning for this, since in Italian the word "due" is you read it "due," which means two, and this is actually the second band's album, so that's also something more as a meaning to give to this title for the record. So it's actually a double meaning for that.
Get it? A double meaning?
Yeah, which is due. Mm-hmm. Makes it double.
Yeah. Now, something you mentioned was some lineup changes. So maybe take us through that. Are the lineup changes on this record? Is it basically a new members on this record?
Yeah. Precisely. We have Ricardo, who's one of the two new members of the band in this record. He's the singer, so it was a pretty major change for us, and for any band, changing the singer is a major change indeed. And the other one is the drummer. We changed the drummer. Okay, it's quite usual for bands to change drummers, so that was like a more, let's say, canonical lineup change. But yeah, the shake-up was big because we had a new singer, so the singer makes a lot of the band sound, even though the band sound didn't betray itself. I mean, it was kind of a natural evolution of what we did on the first album. So Ricardo fit in very nicely within the mentality of the band, within the writing process of the band, and that was great. It was great to hear, and it was great to make music together with the new guys. Mm-hmm. So we are really satisfied with it.
Yeah, something you mentioned there was the writing process of the band, which brings me to a couple of questions, and we'll start with, I guess, the drummer first, because sometimes that can make a big difference, and sometimes I guess not. Did it end up making more of a difference than you thought it would?
Not more than we thought, but we knew that it would have made a difference. Our new drummer, Andrew, is a quite experienced guy in the local scene, in the national Italian scene actually, and he has a strong hard rock background, just as Ricardo has a strong hard rock background. So we had an influence in this sense. The compositions were much more streamlined in this record compared to the previous one, and that was, I think, due to the influences that the guys brought in this new album.
Mm-hmm. Now,
do you agree?
Me? Do I agree, or do they agree?
No, Ricardo.
Yeah, I do. I mean, and beside this, Andrew also had some previous experiences with the band. Used to play some live shows before I got into, so he already knew the style and what it had to be done with the band. So it had an impact. but in the end, I think less than the one probably I had when the band chose me in place of previous singer Alessandro, who was also a very good singer. But the style is a little bit different, and that's probably the puzzle bit that changed more the whole picture, I think.
Now, Ricardo, with regard to the vocals, I mean, when changing the singer, that's huge, usually, unless they were looking specifically for a singer that sounded exactly like the previous guy, which is always weird. How do you feel that you impacted the sound of the record?
As I listened to the record, I can think that I brought in something more direct, something more connected to the rock world, something more connected to the synthwave and 80s sound, which I like. But then a lot of other things got in because it's an alchemy. When you work with other 5 people, then it's not just yourself. So what we produced together brought us also toward other shores. Like there were a lot of 90s sounds recalling the 90s in the record, and that came from some discussions we had, some composition we had together. And the record itself, it's composed by everybody of us. Every track has got the hand sign from one of us. I mean, I've been writing myself a couple of songs, Diego most of the songs. Something that changed a lot is the lyrics, since Diego took care of the whole lyrics in the previous record. In this one, we managed to write them and arrange them as a couple. I mean, we did it together, so it's really different. That's something that had an impact in this record. So basically, what's in the songs and the composition changed because of my alchemy with everybody in the band. It's not just myself. For sure, what you listen now in comparison to what you can listen from the previous record is more direct, it's more pop in a way, it's more rock, always with a metal bass. I mean, the sounds, we search for metal sounds, but what you listen to is way more direct than the previous one.
Yeah. So you basically, sometimes singers just get handed a song that's basically already completed, sometimes even lyrics and a melody, but it sounds like you were an integral part of how the album turned out.
Yeah, that was very kind of the guys. I mean, to involve me in the process. I mean, it's been a choral work in the composition of the song. So this is also something where Diego should have something to say about, and Simone as well, because all the 3 of us involved in this interview, we composed lots of the record. And so basically, we involved each other in every process in writing down this record.
Okay, something you mentioned was synthwave and an overall 80s sound. So I'm looking at Simone for this one. Did you bust out the Moog synthesizer and crank the wheel and tune your valves and how did?
I make terrible noises around the album. No, I try to mix what is Hammond or some more vintage sounds with new. I try to make a mix that is well balanced all over the album, because you can find some vintage sounds like piano, organs, or something very standard, but also with computer programming and other beautiful tools. We added a lot of layers of sound effects and also arrangement that create movement. You don't have in every song you don't have a stable pad, but you have also something that is moving on and creates some timing, a way to mix also synth in like drum machine, but not with the drum sound. Is a very complex layers, mixing layer of stuff. So every sound has its peculiarity. You need to listen to very well to understand how each sound is put in the right way.
Yeah, we had kind of like 16 stem tracks from the keyboards to arrange, so we had lots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
more than the drums. More than the drums.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, I'm seeing a guitar in the music video here for On Black Clouds, and that's always...
Exactly.
Precisely.
Sometimes I use it not for echo, but during a live show. I'm addicted to use it because I like so much makes during solo or some point that I over the other. I like to use this instrument because it's very, very funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at the music video here for On Black Clouds. Maybe take us through this music video. Did you guys were able to do this during lockdown? Or was there a moment in Italy where there was... Because there was a moment where there was no lockdown, right?
Yeah.
Before
the lockdown, there was no lockdown, so we did it then. We did it. Yeah, that was right before it started. So
okay.
Last February, 1 year ago, February. So it was all kind of a normal at the time, and we took Snowball in time to shoot the video for us, like in February. So we could manage to do it all. Just the drums were done like on the very first available date after the lockdown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the music video has been sitting in the can for almost a year.
Yeah, precisely. But not only the video. I mean, when we were shooting the video, we already had a complete pre-production of the album, and it was like a semi-finished draft. I mean, it was very close to the final one. We only had to re-record the tracks for the album, and we were set to do it in March or April. So with the pre-production track, we went on doing the video in order for it to be ready on time, and then the pandemic started, and we had to put everything on hold. So not only the video, but we can say that we had the recordings of the album on hold for several months, and then in this summer, in that window where there was no lockdown, we were able to nail it and to finish it on time for a 2021 release. Mm-hmm. We hoped it would have been 2020, but it wasn't possible. Actually, it was out of our hands. Yeah,
Yo.
You're kidding. I wonder why.
Just guess why.
Guess why. Yeah.
Guess why.
Speaking of releasing the record, how did RockShots get involved? Were you guys already signed to RockShots, or was there some shopping around?
We tried a deep research for something new. 1 year ago, January, we took the first contacts with RockShots. It seemed to us like a fresh new label supporting cool bands, working in the right way. I mean, they're doing the right things in the right time, and they're following the right processes for year 2020 or 2021. Sometimes you got experiences with metal labels that work like it is the 90s. And we were searching for something that was a little bit more at pace with reality. So working with social, promoting the band in the right way, trying to bring us a little bit forward with all the tools that fancy working today. And we had a lot of contacts, and then signed our contract during the summer. So we were not previously in the roster from Rockshots. So Diego might talk about what was before, because I was not in.
Well, basically, we had a one album contract with another label, towards which we are really grateful to, because it helped us to start. We wanted to bring bring the project a little bit further, and we were searching, as Ricardo said, for some new reality, modern reality, but at the same time like an accessible. I don't know if we can say like this reality. I mean something that could be like easily reachable, talkative, and always in contact, in touch with the bands. And we found Roberto and the Rockshots, who are providing us a very, very solid platform to develop. I mean, I would say it like this: it's a very solid platform to develop with the right tools, with a fresh approach, with a humble approach, not like not posing themselves as like on a pedestal. I mean, it's very humble approach. I speak with Roberto on daily basis on how the things are going, and how to improve, and how the next moves, what to do, etc., etc. So we are quite happy with that. It's not common to find such active and present guys in I think in music promotion and publishing. So we are really happy with that.
Mm-hmm. Roberto's the real deal, guys.
Yeah, I mean, he knows what he does. He believes in the job we do together. So we feel it. So we work constantly, and we are happy with that. And that gives us positivity, even in this moment where nobody sees the horizons in front of himself. So working with a project seriously and constantly helps you out in this period in the world. I mean, in this situation we are all living.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Something else I came across here was the production team that you guys chose for this record. It looks like he's returning, Giuseppe Bassi. So tell us about working with Giuseppe. Just tell us about that, because it looks like you guys worked with him on the first album and then loved him so much, or maybe he was just the only affordable guy.
No,
no, I think
not really.
I think that in the I would call it business. I don't think if I can call it business, but in the music sector, let's say, there are a plethora of affordable guys out there who could produce you an album with a decent level of professionality and good sounding instruments, etc., etc. But what we found in Giuseppe was the right person to drive our ideas to a higher level than they would have been without his intervention. And that was really, really important for us on the first album. We had it was 2015, and we had already a full production of the album, a homemade full production, but it was sounding good. But on the arrangement side, it was still lacking something, in our opinion. And working with him was the opportunity to put the accent on what he calls pre-production, which is something that many bands, especially metal, overlook. And pre-production is really, really important to have a clear idea on where do you want to go with a song, how to balance the moments within a song, how to create dynamics, how to enhance the arrangement, and all of this, I think, is rare to find. I mean, at least in northern Italy, in the vicinity of our area, there are a lot of valid technicians, but I would say a few valid producers, and this is what we found in Giuseppe for the first album. And while for the first album we went there with too much stuff, and the only job was to rationalize this stuff and polish everything and make the composition sound more focused, and that's what he did on the first record. This time the process was carried on the other way around. We went with very draft ideas, a very basic demo of all the song, adding as many layers as we wanted, but letting them a bit loose, a bit sloppy before going there. We had all the ideas in place, and we were working together with him on the structure of the song. And that was a different way of working, but allowed him to shine even more in combined with our ideas, and to deliver a more organic, a more focused, a more straightforward, as Ricardo said, record without let's say without relinquishing all the refinements in the arrangement that we really like. So we kept our nature, but we made it more focused, more album oriented, as many listeners pointed us to. So that was the process. I mean, he's a very talented guy, and we are really lucky to have him 40 kilometers from home. It's really a lucky thing for us.
He's kind of the seventh ghost.
Yeah, he is the seventh ghost.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, kind of quick question. I normally don't ask questions about band names because it's a really boring question, but Blue Hour Ghost, like today is Blue Monday.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true story. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have the Blue Hour Ghost on Blue Monday at the time of recording this. Is Blue Hour Ghost related at all to Blue Monday? These are the people who did themselves in because they saw their visa bill.
Yeah, no, I think that no. The band name was decided at the very start when me and Simone were present. So the Blue Hour is a poetic name, let's say, for the twilight in before the dawn, and the twilight just right after the sunset. So it's a magical moment of the day. It's a very suggestive moment of the day. It's quite, it could be quite emotional sometimes, and also shocking due to the colors that act as something, as a spark that resonates inside the soul. I mean, in the Blue Hour, there's a very special feeling of intimacy, and mixed with strong emotions, so maybe sometimes also with anguish, and it's perfect time to let out the ghosts you have inside. So this is more or less the meaning of the band's name. In our first album, liner notes, we just wrote something like a vocabulary entry, a dictionary entry for the definition of Blue Hour Ghosts. So that was more or less saying this thing that I was trying to explain to you. I don't know if I've been clear, but maybe that gives an idea. So the ghosts coming out at a very intimate moment of the day, which is the Blue Hour.
Okay, beautiful. Well, boys, I think we chatted about everything we needed to chat about. I don't have any more questions. Unless there is something that you wanted to chat about, let me know. Otherwise, I just wanted to thank you for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
Something that probably is good to chat about is you mentioned before. I'm gonna be very brief, but something that I care about is what happened in the last year. I mean, the album, the record was almost there, and the video was almost there. We found an agreement with a label, so you think that's everything's set and nothing's left to be done. But then in the end, this madness that happened to the whole world in the last year changed a lot of things, and the artwork as well. So like the record cover was done during the lockdown, so we said, we have a lot of time to spend on our things, so why don't we paint it? So we really made a canvas out of it. We made a whole paint out of it. So the lockdown brought us new methods and new ways to depict this whole record. In terms of timings, in terms of creations, in terms of reviews about the track. So this record is actually kind of a child of the lockdown and the work crisis in the end, and it's really due. I mean, in the end, at the end of all this, it's a due record to those who have been living this period we're all living. So we're looking with positivity at the end of this because we have lots of stories to tell in this record. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
Hope people will enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's something that brings us together. I mean, we've been living this experience all the same. So, Due is coming out for you to be kind of a soundtrack when you see the light out of this.
That's right. The other light, Ricardo, is you kind of look like Brad Pitt.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
And it's really kind of you because this is a podcast. Nobody can say on the contrary. So trust this.
That's right. That's right. Well, anybody watching on YouTube who agrees with that, just put in the comments below that, yes, Ricardo looks just like Brad Pitt. And if you disagree, I guess let us know as well. It's absolutely incredible that, yes, there was quite the year last year. However, where's the good news? And Blue Hour Ghosts coming out with a new record with a new lineup on Rockshots Records is some sunlight.
Sorry,
we lost you.
We lost a bit of something in the end.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. So with 2020, there was a lot of bad things that happened.
Yeah.
But Blue Hour Ghosts coming out with a new record with a new lineup on Rockshots Records is some sunlight out of 2020.
Yeah. Definitely.
Really. All right. Well, thank you, boys, for coming on today.
Thank you for the
John.
space. Thanks a lot, John. And good luck with everything.
Hope you will enjoy Due as well. Hope you're going to listen to it. And big hug to everybody's listening. Yeah.